Picture this: you have a plan, a perfect, logical, life-changing plan. You've read the books, you've bought the equipment, and you've felt that rush of excitement that comes with a new you. But then the moment arrives, the moment to actually do the work, and suddenly the most brilliant version of you disappears. In its place is a stranger, someone who would rather clean the entire house, scroll through endless feeds of nothingness, or stare at a wall than take one single step toward that goal. Why is it that the things we want the most are often the things we find hardest to start? Why does our brain, an organ designed for our survival, seem so intent on sabotaging our progress? This is not just laziness. It is something far deeper. It is the paradox of action. Today, we are going deeper than productivity hacks and just do it slogans. We're going to look into the dark machinery of the human mind to understand why your brain is terrified of your own success and how to finally win the war within. To understand the paradox, we have to acknowledge that you are not one single person. You are a biological committee. Deep inside your skull, an ancient war is being fought. On one side, you have the prefrontal cortex. This is the CEO of your brain. It's young, sophisticated, and it understands concepts like the future, retirement, and health. When you say, "I want to write a book," that's your prefrontal cortex talking. But on the other side, you have the limbic system. This part of you is millions of years old. It doesn't care about your 5-year plan. It only cares about two things: safety and pleasure. Right now, when you think about a big, ambitious action, your CEO sees an opportunity. But your limbic system sees a threat. To your primitive brain, change is dangerous. Effort is a waste of precious calories. Risk is a potential predator. So it sends out a signal of anxiety. It floods you with resistance. This is the first layer of the paradox. Your brain uses your own emotions to keep you safe in a life you've outgrown. But there's a second, more subtle layer to this paradox. It's the fear of the gap. The philosopher and radio host Ira Glass once spoke about the gap between your taste and your talent. When we start something, we can visualize the perfect result. Our taste is high, but our current ability is low. The paradox of action states that the more you care about the quality of the result, the less likely you are to begin. We subconsciously realize that as long as the project remains a dream in our heads, it stays perfect. But the moment we take action, the moment we put pen to paper or foot to pavement, we risk making it real. And reality is messy. Reality can be judged. Reality can fail. So we choose the perfection of inaction over the imperfection of progress. We tell ourselves we are waiting for the right time or more information. But let's be honest, researching is just a more socially acceptable form of procrastination. We aren't seeking knowledge. We are seeking a shield against the vulnerability of being a beginner. In the modern world, the paradox of action has been weaponized by technology. We have entered the era of the dopamine deception. Dopamine is not the chemical of pleasure, it is the chemical of anticipation. It's the "I want it" molecule. When you think about your goals, your brain releases a small hit of dopamine. You feel good just imagining yourself as a fit person or a successful entrepreneur. But here's the trap. The brain often confuses the imagination of the goal with the achievement of it. This is why we love planning so much. Planning gives us the reward without the work. We buy the gym membership and get a dopamine hit, but we haven't burned a single calorie. The paradox is that our brain is satisfied with the simulation of action, making the actual action feel redundant and exhausting. We are exhausted by our own fantasies before we even start the reality. So, how do we break the cycle? How do we move when every fiber of our being tells us to stay still? The answer isn't more willpower. Willpower is a battery that runs out. The answer is to lower the stakes until the fear disappears. If you are paralyzed by the thought of writing a book, write one terrible sentence. If you are terrified of a workout, put on your shoes and walk to the mailbox. The goal isn't the action itself. The goal is to prove to your limbic system that you are safe. You have to show your brain that taking a step doesn't lead to death. We must embrace the architecture of the small. Action is not the result of motivation. Action is the cause of it. You don't wait for the fire to start to put logs on it. You rub the sticks together until you see a spark. The paradox of action tells us that our thoughts are designed to keep us where we are. But your body, your hands, your feet, your movement is the only thing that can lead your mind to a new place. Stop waiting to feel ready. You will never feel ready. You will only ever feel done. The question is, which version of you will win today? The CEO who sees the future or the animal that fears the light? The choice is in the first 5 seconds of your next move.